Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome. Good evening. This is LDtv. We're rolling. We're killing it. I'm a bit nervous because I'm interviewing one of the best in the PSL. Wow. Watch this. Let's connect Aphiwe. I'm connecting her. Aphiwe. 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 She's trying to connect. Oh, she's here. Aphiwe, you're looking good, man. Oh! Wow, 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 wow. It seems like you're doing your hair every month. What's happening?
I always get teased at the office when
Yeah,
I'm at the office, like at work. I'm like,
yeah,
how many times I change my hairstyles? And from the
yeah.
last time at the office, because the last time we were at the office, so it was in March. And so someone mentioned that when we were just
Yeah.
going through the lockdown, that they pretty much worried about me because I'm not going to be able to do my hair every month.
Yeah,
When the president announced that the saloons are open, I was probably
yeah.
one
You were running.
going to
Yeah,
and
yeah,
my colleague was laughing when the moment I walked in. I remember we were with chairman upstairs and then the rest
yeah.
of at the office. They just laughed at me. But hey,
Wow,
anything else,
wow,
I'm looking good.
wow, wow, wow. Aphiwe, Aphiwe, correct me on this one. Eh?
Yes.
I want to introduce you properly. You will correct me if I'm wrong. Ne?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Aphiwe from Eastern Cape. Bear in mind, she's not from East London. She's not from the cities. She studied sports management. She is a Cape Town City events coordinator. And apparently, she is now the assistant marketing director. Wow.
Yeah.
And Aphiwe, you are managing one of the biggest teams in the country right now in the PSL. I mean, who can do that at your age as a woman? Wow. In a male dominated industry. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. So Aphiwe, let's start. Okay, let's start here. No? You studied sports management. Okay,
Yes.
I'm letting people knowing that you studied sports management. But
Yes.
how was your journey after that? And what inspired you to study sports management?
Okay. Thank you so much for introducing me.
Yeah.
To everyone who's watching, I hail from the Eastern Cape, from a small town called King Williamstown.
Yeah.
Um, but I did my high school in East London, which is the closest.
Oh, okay.
Um, Sharing about my journey and talking about how I ended up in sports and how I ended up doing sports management.
Yeah.
Uh, I like to always say, that's what I like to always say to everyone who's asked me, that I
Mm.
grew up in more of a sports orientated family, first and
Yeah.
foremost. So my upbringing shaped my interests in sports because my father, from a very young age, he has been involved in the development of rugby.
Yeah.
Um, Up until to where he is now, because he's working as a manager for South African Rugby Union for all the women, for women's rugby and the women's rugby. So I like to say, when everyone asks me, I would like to classify myself as in Xhosa we say "Dinqanqe ebeleni." That's what we say. "Dinqanqe
What is that
ebeleni."
meaning?
That means I got it from my parents. I got it.
Oh,
It's something that I fed off as I grew up. So, but however, as I grew up, like any other, I never had aspirations of being in sports.
yeah.
Um, so, because it has never been made, or sports has never been sound enough to all of us as a
Mm.
career. It's more of
Yeah.
like entertainment. No one ever mentioned to me. I remember even on the career exhibition that I used to go to when I was doing high school, I don't remember
Yeah.
seeing sports management being spoken of as a career or something that could be
Okay.
done. So I did and then I finished grade 12
Yeah.
and I came to Cape Town. So when I came to Cape Town, just like
Yeah.
I wanted to do electrical engineering. I wanted
Yeah.
to do, at some point, I wanted to do environmental management. All of these courses that everyone is
Wanted to do. Yeah.
familiar, everyone wants to do. And then this guy comes up and then they like, you can't do any of these courses because they're full. And for the previous year, I hadn't applied. So this guy comes to say, but we do have a course for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this course is sports management. So what you can do, you can go into this course and then the following year, you're going to
Mm.
change. Just as
Yeah.
long as inside. What matters is that you in the institution, you have a student number, and then you can change the.
Mm.
Here I am, and I'm like thinking, what is this course? What is it all about?
Yeah.
So I took time, did my research about sports management just to look and see what's it all about,
Yeah.
and I pretty much didn't have any other choice. So I ended up in sports management and I did sports management. So first I did sports management, I enjoyed it and I passed. So I was like, I actually like it here and I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this is where I belong. I feel like this is where I'm going to thrive. And
Yeah.
it's such a pity and unfortunate that not many people know about this course.
Yeah.
And you know, because I started at CPUT, even at the campus that we're on, many people refer to us as coaches, like literally.
Yeah. That's what they do.
That they're like, hey coach, and I'm like, okay. People think that we're going to be coaches. People think
Yeah.
that it ends there. But when I did sports management, I found out that it's more than that. There's
Yeah.
different aspects to it. There's
Yeah.
sports public relations, there's sports marketing, there's
Yeah.
sports management, there is sports physical recreational studies. That's where
Yeah.
you would find your physiotherapist. If you want to major in that aspect, you will be a physiotherapist. And there is sports events management.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
mostly all in, and sports marketing. That's when you look at the well-being of sporting events. So
Yeah.
just leave people to be exposed to the broader and wider sports codes that are
Yeah.
within.
Mm.
You are not only limited to football, you are not only limited to swimming. If you are in swimming, you are not only limited to cricket if you are in cricket, but sports holistically in the events management aspect of it. As the same when you
Yeah.
would refer to it in marketing. In marketing, it focuses on the sports sponsorships, sports endorsements that you
Yeah.
have, where you're dealing with the sports brands, biggest brands that you have, whether it be clubs, whether it be
Yeah.
athletes or brands. That's what we need to also talk about. So this is where I ended up. And through my journey in sports,
Yeah.
my third year, when I was doing my third year, in PUT, we were given a chance to go on an in-service training for a period of 6 months. For the last 6 months of your qualification, you go on field practically, and I was granted an opportunity by the Western Province Rugby Union, and
Yeah.
I as an administrator, so I've been also exposed to the rugby because I worked at the Stormers. This is where I built relations, met a lot of people,
Netflix. Yeah.
it paved my way into being clear about what I want to do. And also I've been fortunate enough to have been exposed to great lecturers, because when I was doing sports management diploma, we had Mr. JJ Monroe. Mr. JJ Monroe taught me a lot about positioning yourself when you're in sports management, because it's broad. It doesn't just end
Yeah,
with management. You
absolutely.
want to look on which aspects you want to fall on
Yeah.
when sports management, because other people want to be on the sports PR, where they go to major in journalism, where they would focus on more on being sportscasters and all of that. Other people want to like focus merely on the sports science side of things, where they would want to be more on the scientific side of sports, and others want to be on the managerial part, which is your marketing, events, and all of that. So I gained interest in that aspect. So that's pretty much my journey and how I ended up in sports management.
Wow.
But yeah, that's it.
Wow. Wow. You have a lot to tell, eh? So Aphiwe, I'm gonna guarantee you this, nah? Most of the people that are online right now, live
Yeah.
with us, at
Yes.
some of them, at some of the people that studied sports management, I have seen 2 or 3, and
Yes.
it's funny how it's people that I know personally, and
Yes.
they were like, no, sports, it's something that you cannot go far with, something that it's limited, and already the system it's blocked to certain people, and looking into the people that are in the industry are not the relevant people that's supposed to be there. I don't want to go far, but you get what I'm saying. So what
Yeah.
can you say to them as an events coordinator of Cape Town City FC, the team that has 4 seasons, 2 cups?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
We have to know that 2 cups. Yeah.
so I would like to, when I think of myself journeying into
Mm,
sports management, I would like to think of myself as one of the fortunate people that have
mm.
ended up being where I am, especially working for one of the
Yeah.
biggest.
Yeah.
And it's true when they say that, it's not easy, like breaking through to the sports, if you have that qualification. But if there's to be one thing that I've learned, but I touched base on it when I was talking, or like taking you through my journey, that I had an opportunity of doing an internship at the Stormers. When I was
Yeah.
working at the Stormers for 6 months, 6 full months,
Yeah.
I was getting paid.
Yeah.
I had to be at work each and every day. That's one thing.
Wow.
And number three, that means Saturdays
Mm,
and Sundays out of my own personal schedule. So if you are sports management students, to all of them, if
mm.
anyone to this live video, one thing, the stepping stone management student, one, is to give time,
Yeah.
volunteer.
Yeah.
Volunteer.
Yeah.
Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Raise your hand and say that I can be able to do that. If you
Mm.
want to go thrive and prove and do anything, I will tell you,
Wow.
if right up until now, no one has it easy the first time in sports. Sports is not considered, I did say so, it's not considered as a
Yeah.
career. So that's why you'd
Yeah.
find that people that are in the top positions and all of that, they're not qualified as
Yeah.
we have. They were not exposed as we have. But if there's to be one thing, is to give time. Give your time, volunteer, be
Yeah.
there, do,
Mm.
engage if you have to. That's what I've had to do. I've said this even to one of my classmates that I was with, in order for me to end up at Cape Town City Football Club was because I was recommended by people that I worked with at the
Yeah,
stores.
I know
Because
that.
potential, they saw my hunger on being on sports.
Yeah,
Sports is a noble profession, and it needs you to be passionate about it. So if
yeah,
you are going to say you are waiting for a 9-5 job in sports, then it's not
yeah,
gonna work. It's not gonna work for you. You need to go to those tournaments, change the scoreboards if you have to. I used to climb on a scoreboard, change the scoreboard. And it used to be so embarrassing. Like, it used to be so embarrassing. But that's what they
wow,
would tell you. You're an intern. Now we need you to come in, and we need you to clip tickets of people that are coming into the stadium. If it
yeah,
means you stand at the gate at the stadium and clip tickets, do that. Someone will notice you. Someone
oh,
will take notice. A qualification in sports, unfortunately, it won't take you that far. You will be fortunate enough if you would go through, but what works in sports is putting in the actual work, putting in yourself, do whatever is presented to you at a certain time. Don't just sit and wait and think you're going to get a job, sit in front of a computer, 9-5 job, it's cool, you're an events coordinator. It doesn't work like that. Even for myself now, as I'm working, there's still things that I'm exposed to each and every day. And I'm able to learn while I'm at it. And I like to say to people that I'm not entirely where I
yeah,
really want, but it's a thorough breakthrough for me that I'm working towards what I want to be. And I
yeah,
want where I am right now to carve a way for another sports management student that is
exactly,
coming
exactly.
after, to say that I've already paved a way for them to be able to fit into the sporting industry.
Wow, Aphiwe, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Aphiwe, since well you studied sports and you know the difficulties behind that, um, what is do you have a passion of giving back to the community? Let's talk about the access of the facilities, the access of resources, the access of financial stability, actually, in
Mm.
a way, the access of transport that people need to use in the township levels, and it's a struggle.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult even for sports management students to see this thing as a real job or as a real qualification, because they can't see it where they're from.
Yeah.
You're from a township, there's a sports organization, and there's a sports facility, but it can't be accessed. There's no transport for
Mm.
people to go there. Transport it's the last thing, but there's no resources that people can use to play there. And
Mm.
especially for you specifically, it's very important. What
Okay.
is your comment based on that?
Okay. That's a very valid point,
Yeah,
and I love the fact that you've touched on it. And I think I've mentioned before that sports management and a holistical view of it, it's never taken as a career choice. First of all, what I would like to see, what I would like to see our government, whether our education system, is to enforce sports as a career, first of all, not just as a form of entertainment, because I feel like most people know sports on more of the entertainment aspect of it.
yeah, they think that.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
and thing is that sports is not just only about athletes. There's more to sports than just the athlete, the football player, the cricket player, the rugby player, your Siya Kolisi, your all the people that are known in
mm,
sports. But there are unsung heroes behind the sporting, which are the sports administrators, which are
yeah,
your managers, which are your sports PR. Now, when it comes to shaping up all of those, it's been difficult. So it would be great if there could be a bridge that could be created from the grassroots level,
yeah,
starting from primary to high school up until you get to a university level. Now, when
Yeah.
I say primary, is that you know, it's. I was chatting to a friend this one other day, and I said one of the most fortunate people in sports are the people that go to your Model C schools,
Yeah.
because they have facilities, they have opportunities.
Yeah.
That's why you'll find that if talent is seen maybe from a previously disadvantaged school, that student will be taken, and that student will be given a scholarship to go to a certain college, because college or high school, because they can see some potential in them and they want to nurture the craft that they have, because that certain high school has facilities, that certain high school has all the necessities to sharpen them into being the great athletes, to have a positive impact towards the sporting industry. Now, my only worry is that there is a potential in the Eastern Cape, Kukumbu, for example,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
been able to unleash to their full potential on basis that there are no facilities. They
Yeah.
can't try because they cannot play. There is not a pitch enough, or a green pitch, or there is not a great soccer field, or there are no rugby fields for them to thrive. So it would be great if we can like go back to our communities, look at the infrastructure of the sports on a holistic level. This will also not
Yeah.
only benefit those individuals who want to be crafted to becoming good athletes for South Africa, but this will also give opportunities to the sports management students to manage those facilities, to have job to look after those facilities.
Yeah.
So it's really a great disadvantage that we have, that
Yeah.
we do
It's a
not
big
have
one.
the good, the right facilities. Imagine how many black swimmers we would have if all of
No.
us had swimming pools in the townships.
No.
How many of those we would have? Imagine, like, for example, most rugby players that you have
Yeah.
are
I see
rugby
Zintle. Zintle's here.
from Dale College, that come from Selborne College, that come from all these boys' schools.
Yeah.
And if they spot those talents from disadvantaged schools, they take those kids from there to put them to these colleges so
Yeah.
that they can be able to go up. But they never look at the fact that we need to introspect on why not we just do something to better our schools, to better our townships, to better the rural areas, so that we can have these people coming out of those places with pride. In all essence, scratch out taking them to colleges, scratch out taking them to Model C schools, but
Yeah.
let them thrive where they are, build facilities, give them sporting facilities and all the sporting equipments where they are, so that they can be able to bloom in sports. And another thing that I wanted to pinpoint on is that in sports, I've seen, now I'm in Cape Town, so
Yeah.
we sometimes go to the Cape Flats. The government here has done so well. Sometimes they build up parks, recreational parks, that they have stadiums, that they have, but let's look after these facilities that we have.
Quality. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If we have a stadium, let's look after it. If you know of a stadium, this goes to the sports management students. Approach the people that are in your area. Ask if you can't volunteer to look after the stadium. Switch on the lights, make sure that it's watered, make sure that there's something. You might go up if you do that, if you are a sports administrator or a sports manager. Look after the sporting facilities
Mm.
that we have, townships, because it's so sad that sometimes government does adhere to this and they give us these facilities, but in less than 2 months or three, they vandalized. you find that there's a lot that's been done that's wrong into our facilities. Let's stop looking into sports as just a form of entertainment, but take it into a point that if you play a certain aspect or a role as a sports person, if you're passionate about it, ask, who can I speak to in order to get into this facility and make sure that it's maintained well? Because you have the expertise, you've done sports management, you know facility management. Do you understand? So at some point it gets into our hands, but at some point I feel like our government or all those officials could maybe look at the rural, consider trying to develop those places, give those kids
Yeah.
equipment, give them facility.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're talking to Aphiwe. She is the events coordinator of Cape Town City, an assistant manager,
Yes.
marketing actually, in the marketing department.
Yes.
Aphiwe, what did you learn from is it Natalia or Atalia?
Natalie.
I made my homework.
When I came into Cape Town City Football Club, by the way, month marks a year since I've been with the club, and it's been a great experience. They've given me a room of growth, and they've exposed me to a lot. And
Yeah.
Natalie Barlow is one of the greatest in the sporting industry. She's the marketing brand manager of Cape Town City Football Club. She is now attending a UEFA course. And what I've learned from her, she has taken me under her wing, and she groomed me so well in all aspects when it comes to events management, especially with following protocols within the PSL industry. She's one of the greatest, and in South African football. And I say this again, she's one of the greatest in South African football. With everything that I've learned from her, she has taken me under her wing in following protocols, drafting up events management plan, accommodation plan. She has given me a chance, and she's one of those people who would rather say, what is it that you can't do that I can assist you with? She's not that person who will say, I will teach you this, but she will give you that room to grow for yourself. And she will say to you, tell me, what is it that you can't do? So I've been fortunate to have been exposed to the PSL through a person of her caliber. And yeah, and she's one of the greatest. So I've grasped so much from her, and I've learned so much from her, and she's doing an exceptional well job.
Yeah. Aphiwe, as you can see, I'm wearing all black today.
Yes.
There's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
Aphiwe, how can you link Black Lives Matter, which is trendy now, with sports? What can you do? What is it that you have behind sports and Black Lives Matter? I still remember there was 1995 World Cup, which I was not there. Yeah, I think I was born by the time. I'm not sure. So Nelson Mandela once said that you can use sports to unite people. Looking into the Black Lives Matter situation and taking the sports on its own. Let's forget about football. Let's take sports as a whole. What is your take on that?
My take on that is that I love it when you say that sports as a whole is a tool to unite. You know, when you have a sporting event, and for example, let me make an example with when we won the World Cup last year. How united we were. I remember when I went out to watch the final. I went to a predominantly white community to watch the final. But when the final whistle blew and we were announced as the champions of the World Cup 2019 Rugby World Cup, I just hugged whoever was next to me. People were just excited. Everyone was just screaming, which at later when I reflected and I was like, these people, when we went inside the place where we were watching, everybody was just about themselves and we were just sitting in different tables. And, everybody was just about themselves, about their lives, coming to watch a rugby match.
Yeah.
But after that day, everyone just sang one song in the place where I was. I think I was at Bossa Cafe. Everyone just sang one. We were all united. It was a jolly and such a great experience, and which made me truly understand that sports is quite a silent language that brings everyone together. So in collaboration with Black Lives Matter, it doesn't matter of the color. As much of the events that I've had to head on in sports, but I know when Cape Town is predominantly a city that is full of different cultures.
Yeah.
But when Cape Town City Football Club scores a goal, trust me, it gets crazy at Cape Town Stadium. It gets crazy. We all just jump into each other. We all get excited. It's an undescribable feeling. So sports is a tool that can be used in so many different aspects and levels of our lives. Sports is also I would say it's also a resort for other people, because it gets you out of your comfort zone sometimes. It puts you in a place where you are able to interact with other people. It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So in that being said, sports can be used as a tool to unite each and every one of us. And I've been so fortunate to have been exposed to so many people through sports. I've gained so many friends through sports. You would find that our players from overseas, we have our players from overseas, but when they get into the changing room and they sing Igwijo, they can be able to be one. And they
we can see the videos. Yeah.
You understand? So sports is quite a very deep but yet an exciting aspect of our lives, and it can all bring us together if we use it positively.
Okay, Aphiwe, I want one name. Yeah? I'm gonna give you 3 names. You're gonna choose one name. Eric Tintler, Benny McCarthy, the current coach. I forgot his name. The current coach. Which one will you choose? It's Tintler, Benny, and the current coach. Yeah, it's difficult. Eh? You will be fired tomorrow.
I would say that I would go for Benny. When I came into the club last year and I worked with my club, Coach Benny McCarthy is one of the most welcoming people, and I've been able to relate with him. He doesn't just make you feel like, oh, because I remember when I joined, I was like, oh, Benny McCarthy, and I got that stuff with him. So he's one of the most greatest individual. He's one of the kind of people that I've ever came across. He used to call me Sarafina. I don't know why he called me Sarafina. He used to call me Sarafina. He would say Sarafina. Sometimes I'm just about my business, or my hairstyles. Be like, oh, Sarafina, you always.
Oh yeah.
So he's one of the kindest people that I've ever met. So I would, yeah, he's such
Yeah.
a great in so many aspects.
Guys, don't be surprised. Everyone, don't be surprised. It's events coordinator of Cape Town City. She's here with us, LDtv Live. Aphiwe, let's wrap
Yeah.
up. Let's wrap up. Let's go to women sports. I don't want to go to women's football. Let's go to women's sports. And it's a very touchy
Yeah.
topic. What can you do for women's sports? You are a woman and you are in a male-dominated industry, which is football. What can you do?
Yeah.
What is that thing? Okay, what is the idea or maybe something that you have that you can do to women's sports? It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be like
Yeah.
anything that you have that you can do.
You know what I like to say is that whatever a woman, oh, excuse me, whatever a man can do, a woman can do.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm one person who always struggle with aligning the two when it comes to sports because it's one thing. So I would always want to rather say a sports individual rather than to say a sportswoman or a sportsman. Do you
yeah,
understand?
yeah,
Let's put them in one place because whatever that sports male athlete can do,
yeah,
that sports female athlete also can do. That's one thing that
yeah,
I've understand and
yeah,
that I've came across. And one thing that I would love to see, and I love on how I always say that, you know, in our sports, I love the transformation that we have, and there's more thoroughbreds coming in right now,
yeah.
and back then sports used to be defined on a manly perspective, but now there's it has become so easy, and it has become so evident that women can also be there and they can hold these professional positions in the sporting industry. And it makes me burst with pride each and every time when I would hear that there's a sports female individual that has come through and is doing well for themselves. So basically, I would also like to always encourage a girl child. If you know that you have a sister that can run, encourage them to run. There's nothing wrong with running. That could be tomorrow's athlete. If you have a sister that can play rugby, don't take it as if it's a manly sport and they're too feminine to play it. Groom them,
Yeah.
give them a chance, put them through, and understand them for who they are and how they are. And it would make me feel so good to see more women being involved, not only in the sports athlete aspect of things, but also in administration, also in the managerial, also in coaching positions, also in facility management positions. And love now how sports has been quite a broad aspect because now you have brand management, you have sports sponsorship, you have sportcasters. We have Carol Manana right now. We have Aphiwe who are events coordinators. We have who
Mm.
are marketing and brand managers. We have, the list is endless. We have Omamuria have led, they've been able to own clubs, to be up there on SAFA level, they've been able to be there in the PSL board. We need to see more of these people entering these doors, going up there, sitting on top on the table, being able to lead the same way that men lead. That's what I would like to see, and that's what I strive to see. And I said my only aim and my only position that I'm in right now in sports is that for whoever is coming after me, they could have it easier than I have. So if you know that you are already on a far more better position than you are, carve away
Yeah.
enough. It's going to be much more easier for another female that's coming behind you to have it easier than you have.
Wow. It's Aphiwe.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's Xhosa, by the way. Aphiwe, I promised someone to ask you this question. Ne? It's a very sensitive question. I don't know if you answer it. If you don't, it's still fine. It's still okay with me. Ne? What is your take on Banyana Banyana specifically? You are in the football industry. I mean, let's go to the support that SAFA should be giving to Banyana Banyana. They are doing their best out there. They've been signing big deals lately. Yay! They are busy. Their agents are busy. But let's come back to the support of SAFA. Is the support of SAFA good enough for Banyana Banyana? I don't want you to go deep on that. I just want you to answer based on, is it good enough according to you, or it's not?
You know, when it comes to support, and there's a lot involved when it comes to support, whether it be marketing support, whether it
Let
be
me go
administration
specifically.
support, or excuse me?
Let me go specifically on that.
Okay.
Financially so.
Financial support on that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to be able to
Yeah,
answer
I
because
know that.
been exposed. I haven't been exposed to how much financial support they get and all of that. But I believe for each and every association, there's always a room of improvement, and a room for growth for
Yeah,
each and every one of us in whatever positions that we have. So we can just only hope that from now things
they will
can,
improve.
yeah, improve and get better.
Okay, who's your favorite player at Cape Town City?
Oh my God. I probably have some of the players watching, and now you're putting me on the spot because I they're all favorite players. All my favorite players, and I'm not going to say I like this player and I like that one, but those are talented individuals. Each and every one of them, whenever they get on the field, whenever they
Yeah,
get on the pitch and they touch the ball, we burst with pride as a team behind them, and we support them. And those boys do their best and they play their best football. And I'm in love with all of them in their craft. And as soccer stand, if you would ask me in the PSL who are the best players, Cape Town City Football Club players are the best players in the PSL.
Wow, she's representing her own company. Okay, Aphiwe, I want to talk about this boy. Ne? This boy is such an inspiration. I mean, let's forget about the color and everything, but this boy is so passionate about football. He's always leading the team at the changing room. I mean, she's doing his best. You're
Yeah.
talking about Matthew. What is the relationship with Matthew?
Okay, that's Mateo.
Yeah.
Mateo,
Why is it Mateo, or is it Mateo or Matthew?
Mateo. His name is Mateo. Matheo. That's Mateo.
Oh, okay. Okay, I love
Uh,
that boy. I love him so
yeah.
much.
Mateo is like close to our hearts. He's close to everyone in the club.
Yeah.
He totally loves being at the stadium when we play. He loves being around the players. He's our assistant coach son. So Mateo is such a cute individual. Like, even when he's not around, it
You can
doesn't
feel.
feel good because we all ask ourselves, "Where's Mateo? Where's Mateo?" We just want to see him. So Mateo really loves the boys, and he really loves the club. He's our mascot. He's close to our hearts, and he grew up in football, so it's literally what he probably also looks forward to. So yeah, so he's very close to our heart. So yeah.
Let's go deep on him. Apparently, he's the future chairman of the team. Apparently.
I really don't know
So
about that.
basically, he's your future boss.
I don't know about that, but it would be so cool to have him as a chairman. It would be so cool. I'm sure it'd be so great.
Yeah. Okay. Up here, one last question. Let's go deep into your relationship with Teko Modise.
Mm-hmm.
What is his role now at the team?
Dego is a PRO in our club right now.
Wow.
So very closely with us. He's at the office all the time. So yeah, he's a PRO.
Wow, that's
Yes.
nice. I wish every team in PSL can do that. I mean, like they can give back to their
Yeah.
players and stuff and everything. So, Aphiwe, leave us with your motivation. What wakes you up every day in the morning?
Um, what I would say I wake up to and look forward to every morning is that I understand that each day presents opportunities. That's one. And that I might not be the same person that I was the previous day to today. And
Okay.
each and every day I look forward into new opportunities that are presented to me. And if there's to be anything that I look forward to each and every day, is that I know that somewhere out there there's someone who sees Aphiwe as a stepping stone or someone who can do it. So I always try not to fail myself so that I don't fail
Yeah.
those looking up to me. And it's just that I grew up in a wide or in such a huge family. So I have so many sisters and I have so many brothers. And they will tell me each and every day that, Sissy, we are very proud of you and you are doing so well. So each and every day when I wake up, I think of not failing them. I think of
Yeah.
not those people who have so much trust in me or who look up to me.
Wow.
So
This is
yeah.
impressive. Very glad, Aphiwe, you're here. Aphiwe, before you leave, someone asked, what is, oh, they answered him, public relations officer. Thanks. Aphiwe, it was nice chatting with you, ladies and gentlemen. We were chatting with Aphiwe. She's from Eastern Cape. She went to university and studied sports management, paved her way up to be where she is. She volunteered for 6 months without pay, doing it with passion, love, all about sports. All I can
Yeah.
say. Aphiwe,
Yeah.
I have to leave you. You know,
Thank you so
vendor.
much for the opportunity, and I hope you guys can like grow your channel from strength to
Yeah,
strength. And I really wish you all the best. And to everyone who has been watching, I hope they've been able to learn a thing or two. And I would want to encourage each and everyone who's studying sports management and sports marketing, like I've done in events management, that each and every time remember that if I can do it, you can also do it. If
yeah,
anyone else can do it, you can also do it. So don't go with the statistics that says that there are no jobs, you can't do it, and all
yeah,
push it. Even if it means you have to start something of your own, start it. If you believe
yeah.
in it, you can achieve it, and you can do it.
Wow. Aphiwe, we're still gonna get in touch with you. We're still gonna interview more. You still have a way to change this industry. Like you still have a lot. I believe that. I believe in you. And by the time I was telling even Mumu, she's the one who's doing production side for LDtv, but we couldn't do it because of the pandemic. So yeah, that is why we're doing the live interviews. By the way, this is the first one. You are the first person. And I was telling them that I really want to interview this lady because I feel like she has a lot to tell, and she is the youngest in the industry. Okay, there might be people who are young out there, but she is the one who's doing the most impact that I see as a person, that she's changing the lives of people out there. People believe now that sports, I mean, like, people are listening to us right now. Now they believe that sports is possible only because of you, Aphiwe. By the way, Aphiwe, someone asked me on WhatsApp when I put it on my status to say, "Ona le motho na motho." Oh, yeah.
I will dodge that question. I will really dodge that question.
Okay, it's fine. Aphiwe.
I will dodge that question, but I am very happy. So thank you. I'll pause.
Wow. Aphiwe, I'm gonna leave you in Venda language. I say kakate hauna. Sharp.
Thank you. Bye.